So if it's a guy that doesn't have a family, he's going to be okay with you having 3 children, 4 children.
We're very accustomed for speaking for men without their presence, in their absence. So we end up with increasingly bad takes that end up leading you and younger women astray. Describe. Let's talk about it.
Do you feel like a woman who has multiple kids doesn't have the best shot on the dating market?
They have a shot in the market for someone. They have to know what their preference is, because guys have a preference. So if it's a guy that doesn't have a family, he's going to be okay with you having 3 children, 4 children.
Because that's his family.
Because he wants a family. Because he wants a family. He wants to build a family. He wants children that's going to be willing to call him dad and let him fill in that gap. As long as that's, he's taking care of mom and he's done what he has to do on behalf of mom, that's the case. But you have guys that have that preference that are looking for a family. But if it's somebody that's coming in that doesn't, you can't try to hold on to somebody that's saying, I don't want no kids.
Now, in an attempt to be fair, we don't want to pretend like this doesn't exist, that there aren't men out there that will come in and say you have 1, 2, you got multiple baby daddies. There's men that fill that slot all the time. The world is vast. You got people of different desires, different stages in life. That's true. We never want to say in paint with the dry brush it doesn't happen. But the quality behind that guy becomes questionable. When you hear conversations like this that end up speaking for men in their entirety is when you actually end up losing us. If you think that men just in general, the way we categorize them is he doesn't have any kids, so he won't mind. This is what gets a lot of women stuck. This is what gets a lot of women without thinking about before, while they're single, while they're childless, saying, should I do this? If I don't vet this man right here that I'm about to lay down with, if I don't vet him properly, I could be left in a situation where life becomes increasingly difficult. Dating wise, financial wise, whatever. And we know there's instances where this doesn't deter. She had a kid at 18 and she got a PhD, but that's not common. That's not the masses. When we make generalizations, we're trying to apply these things to the masses. When women make these generalizations, they're trying to apply it to the mass, but it really doesn't. You cannot legislate how men feel about this or that. For example, body count. You can say it doesn't matter. You can get whomever, you can get Mark Manson to say it doesn't matter. It's not important. But for a lot of men, it is. These are one of those things that you don't have to agree with. You don't have to agree with gravity. You don't have to agree with the moon landing. It's in the textbooks. It's in the textbooks. It's largely accepted that this is what's actually happening. This is the theory behind gravity. It happens. You don't have to like the results. What it ends up revealing is you made decisions in your life that have got you to a place, but you're unwilling to accept that right now your decisions have consequences. And the larger that gap between your decision and consequence, the longer you try to hold that off, the more telling it is to men that are sitting here and reading it and listening to it and having to be subject to it. When you go into the dating market and you have kids, multiple baby daddies, yet you still have the standards and you still refuse to be treated as if this is not part of your entire package. This is why you end up walking on Shark Tank and they're saying, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is where the state of dating doesn't make any sense. If you have kids, own it. Absolutely. I have kids. This is a situation. This is what I am. But now, and we said this multiple times on this channel, you have to now compensate in other areas. That kid essentially has to be an asset. That kid, if it's just a whole liability, it's a whole loss, then you have to understand, and sometimes graciously, why men say, hey, this really isn't for me. If he doesn't have kids and he's looking to start a family, why wouldn't he start a family why would he go somewhere where this is already pre-built? Because we don't have these conversations with men around, or having real male input. By real male input, I mean those that are not sort of afraid to tell you the truth, that know they have a brand, they have sponsorships, they have people looking at them and saying, you have to toe this line. This is why we started distrusting the mainstream media. You had men on there, you had people on there saying things that you could look at and see for yourself. That's not really true. Here's one of those. That's not really true what you're saying. That men just, I don't have any kids, so therefore you having 2 or 3 kids, it's fine. If it were true, you'd see it. You'd see it in the wild. You see it in the mass. You'd see that there wasn't an issue with being single and having kids. You would see more people, like they try to convince us in the early 2000s, that you have to step up. There wouldn't have been this social sort of campaign. I'm not the father, I'm the one that stepped up. Right? You wouldn't have that. Right now, men are realizing that I don't have to do this. If I've navigated my life to the point where I don't have kids, yet I do want them, that doesn't mean that I want your children. I want our children. If I can't have that, then I know that I won't have to just accept whatever's out there. What these conversations end up doing is minimizing the male voice, minimizing the male, what his desires, what his potential use on this planet is for. You're supposed to like this. Why? Because I said so. Because it would be convenient for me if you believe that and you acted accordingly. It takes pressure off me. It alleviates the things I've done in the past. It gives me the best opportunity for the best type of life, despite me not working towards those. You went down a path that said, I'm fine doing things like this, and it all work out. Now you need the male input to say, they told me it all work out. I need you to come up here and believe that. Yet we pay no credence. We give no type of solace. We don't look at men and say, okay, what is it that you want? We just assume that as a man, you simply exist to pay her bills, to alleviate pain and sin and time and effort from her life. But we never say, what is it that you want? What is important to you? We make being a man synonymous with sacrifice. That's it. So sacrifice your wallet, your time, your energy, your life force. And then we say, cool, this is what you should be doing. We never say, did you ever desire for something or a modicum of happiness? We try to make it seem as if you sacrificing parts of who you are is intrinsic to you being happy as a man. In fact, sometimes we take about happy, we say, you should just strive for contentment. You should just strive for a good, hard day's work, come back and see your family and say, good, that's enough for me. Where we're walking towards now is a place where men have that voice, have an ability to say, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. And this is not to say this is across the board. You have men that are willing to step into that role. You just want them to also be everything else. If you have multiple kids, multiple baby daddies, that man out there for you probably isn't going to be the one that you're proud to show off on Instagram because he looks good, he has a sports car, he's in a high rise, he's in a penthouse, he does all these other things. It's not going to be a man that's spoiled for choice. Probably, right? The chances that out there, they do exist just because the world is so vast. We cannot know for certain, but we can lean towards, yeah, men with no kids probably don't want to inherit your family. I think that's more likely than not. Listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to some of my voice now, if you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.